Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode of the Blockchain Homestead. I'm Steve, and today I want to talk to you about kind of asset allocation and how to look at different coins. I know a lot of people are getting into this space and want to invest and make a lot of money, and that's going to happen. But I want to give you my ideas on how I do things because, again, this is, as a disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is just telling you what I'm doing in this crypto space and how I think about things. So that's where I'm coming from on this. So I just want to share with you some of my thoughts on cryptocurrency investing and and asset allocation. So I have a little chart here. My little there we are. Maybe we can push this back a little bit. All right. So we have the majors up here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So in my opinion, or not, again, not my opinion. This is what I do. My portfolio looks about 65 to 70% in those three coins, right? Because those are the majors. For 2018, most of the guys that I read, again, or listen to, Cliff High, JSNIP4, Trader Boss, those three guys are amazing, so definitely look up their YouTube channels. That's JSNIP4 and Cliff High. Trader Boss is on JSNIP4. Anyway, Bitcoin probably going to multiples, maybe a tenfold move again this year, 7 to 10-fold move. Ethereum, the same sort of deal, and Litecoin, the same sort of deal. So like a 7-fold move, which is pretty impressive if you know where they're at right now. And again, that's just the word on the playground. But these guys have been accurate in the past, and so 65 to 70% of my allocation is in those guys. That way, I don't have to think about it. The rest of it I've spread out amongst coins, which I'll call, to borrow a term from Trader Boss, as utility coins, and then as business coins, and then lastly speculative, which I really don't get into. I've done one or two, but I just don't get too involved in those. So with utility coins, these guys right over here, NEO, EOS, ADA. So NEO and EOS are both kind of Ethereum-like coins. They are blockchains in and of themselves, and they also have the ability to foster smart contracts, much like Ether or Ethereum, which is what gives Ethereum its really interesting properties, is the smart contracts and the ability to run software code onto the blockchain itself. So those guys are also going to be players in that space. ADX. I think I had that on there, right? ADX should actually probably be in the business coin. That's going to be an advertising sort of coin. It's going to be, I think it's its own blockchain, and it's going to be producing traceable advertising, which is going to replace a lot of the clickbait type advertising that is currently done, right? If you're a business paying for advertising on the internet, you can have companies that are spoofing through IP addresses and things like that, spoofing their own websites or spoofing their news sites and things like that, and artificially gaining popularity in their own business model. And so this can affect advertising rates and things like that. And so this is a way to get away from that sort of fraud. And that's what ADX is doing. And then Komodo down here is also another blockchain in and of itself, kind of like Ethereum as well. And that's also going to be a player in that space. Utility coins you can think of as, to borrow a term from Cliff High, the railroad tracks. So like Ethereum is a railroad track where all these other tokens and businesses are being constructed. These other utility coins are going to be much like that. They're going to be the platform on which other businesses are going to be run. And so if you're part of that token, or part of that blockchain, those other tokens, those ICOs that are going to be coming out, they need to buy into that coin and that platform in order to run their company. And so being on that blockchain before they start producing their product and their businesses and their ICOs is going to be how I want to make, I think, some substantial gains in 2018 and 2019. Business coins. So I talked about Populous, PPT up there. That's that one that I talked about that does invoice factoring. Basically, you can buy POs from companies at a discount, and then also you get a principal on the discount, and then you also get interest. So if you own the Populous token, you can use their network once it's up and running to buy these contracts. Salt is much like that, except that's peer-to-peer lending, but it's asset-backed. So you have to post collateral in the form of cryptocurrencies in order to get loans, and then people can look at the prospectus of that loan or that client that's trying to put a loan out there, and you can choose to fund that loan, and then you make the interest instead of the banks making the interest on that collateralized loan. So Power Ledger, right over here, Power Ledger is really cool because they are a company that is, or coin that is redefining the way people buy electricity. Basically, the way your electric bill works right now, you use electricity, they bill you after the fact, and then you pay it 30, 60, 90 days after the fact. Because of that lag in payment and that unsurety, that lack of trust in your ability to pay back what you've already consumed, they charge you a higher rate than you deserve. What Power Ledger came up with, again, using disintermediation and efficiency, introducing efficiency and competition, they said, why don't we allow people to prepay for their electric, and then you can get cheaper rates. So what the Power Ledger is doing is using smart appliances and also smart applications to look at your power usage, prepay the power company for your power usage, and then get you a lower rate on that power. So that's a really great system that they have. And I believe that they have a couple of projects already going in India before they even sold this coin out onto the public market, which is really interesting that a project is going before they allow it for sale. I find those guys to be really cool. DGB, Digibyte, that's going to be a payment system, much like Bitcoin or Litecoin. Cool. Then there's speculative coins. These are coins where the business case is either non-existent or it's more of a way to transact. VIB is a really good one. That's for music industry, and Music Coin is another one that I have, and that is a way for people to get direct financing of bands and booking agents and things like that. So the business case is not exactly something that they're going to be creating, new business niches out of, but it's more of like a popular or like a Facebook sort of thing, or MySpace in the early days, where it's just about social networking and it's cool, and I love music, so these are things that I'm looking at. These other ones down here in the speculative corner, these have business cases that I'm really not sure of. They're fairly cheap, some of them, like Lanacoin. Their website, to me, doesn't make sense. If you're a part of Lanacoin, I'm sorry. But it's up 40% today or 50% today. So you see a lot of buzz on the internets, the interwebs, talking about things like Lanacoin or Kushcoin or VUC there. And because they have these wild swings. And yeah, if you bet on it, you can make a lot of money really quick. But my only thing to think about when you're getting involved in speculative coins is look at the market cap, look at the volume. If it's a lightly traded coin, you might be the market maker in that coin. You might invest a lot of money, and then when it goes up, you want to take your money out, but you're the person that owns a large stake in it. Or you're the only person that's trying to sell at that exact time. So what happens is that you can adversely be affected by that low volume. So Kushcoin, on the other hand, is involved in the marijuana business, but in agriculture as well. So they actually have a business product that looks pretty interesting. But I still list it as a spec because at this point I really don't know where it's going. And then VUC is another one where if you read their website, they're just pointing out how they're different from Bitcoin. And that's about their argument. So again, it's look at trading volume, look at things like that before you get involved in some of these coins. So again, to go over the majors up here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, they're going to be around, I think, for the next 20, 30 years before suffering any sort of really severe price pullbacks, besides the 30 or 40% that has happened now, which if you've been involved since 2013, like I have, 30% move is nothing. Try a 70 or 90% move. Then you can start worrying about that feeling in your stomach when you start looking at your portfolio. The utility coins, again, I'm invested in all these guys. I think they're great. I really like their market. I really like their business proposals. They have a great team. I think they're going to do really well. The business coins, those are the ones that have a double whammy sort of thing, where not only they're going to appreciate as people get invested in them, but they're also a market in and of themselves. Populous and Salt are lending. Power is about power consumption and about helping people buy their power. Digibyte is a payment system. And then the speculative coins, as I mentioned. So again, just for me personally, how I invest, I'm 65 to 70% into these guys, and then maybe the other 20% in here, and then maybe 1 to 5% in the speculatives, things that catch my interest, like VIB or Music Coin, things like that. So, well, happy investing, and again, right as it stands right now, we're still in the innovator stage. We haven't even hit the early adopter phase of this market yet. So consider yourself part of history that you're involved in watching this video now. And yeah, happy investing. See you guys around. Bye.